Joined by Dimple Parekh and Rushubh Vora, entrepreneurs, sustainability advocates, and co-founders of this company, Volt.
Volt is a home care brand with a focus on eco-friendly ingredients, sustainable packaging, but first and foremost being affordable luxury. We worked on products that are ocean-friendly because all the pollutants in our laundry from our household chores all get washed out, drained into the rivers, oceans, water. We worked on products that...
Some bold ingredient choices in the creation of Volt, using fully dissolvable, skin-safe, marine-safe formulations and completely avoiding those blue specks in most detergents used.
Like diving is like meditation for me.
Wow.
Going inside, seeing that world, I don't think once you experience it, you'd want to do anything else.
I think that's one of the most fascinating things about Volt, the collaboration of the two different founders, different skill sets. And that brings me to my next point. I recently interviewed Shavir Patel from Temple Adventures, which built Temple Reef, Asia's largest artificial reef. And we spoke a lot about how divers and brands can accelerate reef restoration. So what inspired you to move beyond just ocean-safe products to becoming part of the solution underwater?
So back in 2008, like when I started diving, Andaman was the place where I started. And during that time, the visibility was just about okay. But now weirdly, you know how we've all been through COVID and COVID has done its bit for the earth. But after COVID, my first dive back in Andaman, and you know, they just told me a story because diving was shut for a year almost.
Yeah.
But when my instructor went back diving after a year, and his first dive back into the ocean, he literally saw the marine life come together like species he's never seen before. He's like, it was like a welcoming call for divers back into the ocean. He saw dolphins to rays to sharks and something which Andaman has never seen before. And I think that's when it sparked. And when I heard that story, and we were like, whatever we can do for the ocean, we will do our bit.
Okay, I want to shift gears and geek out for a moment because Volt's next product drop feels less like home care and more like a Shark Tank level innovation. You're not just making better detergents anymore, you're rethinking how we interact with everyday objects, how we clean, what we throw, even what we breathe in. So here you have it in your hands, everyone, a sneak peek to what holds in Volt's future. Let's start with the one I'm most excited for. This new bacteria-based spray that refreshes clothes without water. First of all, genius, but also kind of scientific. What inspired it and how does it connect back to your own diving life?
So as a diver, you know, whenever you come back from a dive, you're so exhausted and so tired. It's really difficult to put your clothes back to wash. You know, it leaves your fabrics and your t-shirts or your dive suits, anything which is wet with that mold and musty smell, which even happens in the rainy season. We kept thinking, what should we do to avoid something like that? That's when the idea of the spray came up, and I think Rushubh will explain the spray better. Please.
So we're launching a fabric refreshing and air freshener spray. The main ingredient is a bacterial culture that not only gets rid of bad odors on your fabrics and surfaces, but also doesn't allow new odor-causing bacteria to form on it.
Wow.
So you can spray it on any of your clothes or your fabrics or even your garbage can that smells funky, and it'll get rid of the odor. And things like our curtains, our pillow covers, cushion covers, our sofas, which we don't wash often, it can be used on that to refresh them and kill the bacteria on it. And then certain products that we do wash often that don't require washing that often. So that helps in saving a lot of water wastage. It helps in reduction of usage of it reduces the need to use harmful detergents and soaps on cleaning and washing, which is an added benefit we didn't really think of. But we just wanted everything in your home, like our original concept. to smell luxurious, to smell great without causing a dent.
Wow, that's a fascinating and quite a incredible idea, which is useful for the whole, not only the Indian market but globally. The second product we plan to tease is a sponge. And I know most people don't get excited just about a sponge, but this one's kind of genius. It's a layered design that lets you peel off and reuse instead of throwing the whole thing away. So, what made you go there, and how do small innovations like this help push the larger mission forward?
So, the sponges we typically use at home, the yellow sponges that we do our dishes with, are entirely made of plastic. They are not recyclable. They're highly polluting, not only when we get rid of them, but also to create them, to manufacture them. There was no solution to this, right? We've been using it for years. Every household has one. So if you want to make a change, you have to reach every household. It's as simple as that. So we came across this really interesting concept where instead of the plastic sponge, there are several layers of microfibers stuck together. Microfibers are made out of recycled plastic, for those of you who didn't know. So again, in manufacturing it, you're doing something eco-friendly as well. These can be used, they're highly absorbent, unlike sponges. They can be used not only on your dishes, but they don't leave streaks behind, so you can use them on your mirrors and glasses, for example. So they're multi-use, not just for a single situation at home. And like you mentioned, instead of just using and throwing the thing away in a month or whenever it deteriorates, you can just peel off a layer and continue using it like it's new.
Wow, another incredible idea. And I just want to zoom out for a second, take it from a larger point of view. After hearing so much about your brand Volt, I'm heavily inspired. What advice would you give to a 14, 15, 16 or 17-year-old who's passionate about the ocean but also wants to make a business or start a company?
So I guess like any business, you need to solve a problem. You need to find a problem to solve a problem, right? So keep your eyes and ears open. Look for things that you think need to be changed or things you feel require a solution, however easy or tough that might be. But once you find the problem, that's 50% of the work done. Once you know what the problem is you want to address, your brain will automatically start ticking to find a solution to it, which you could convert into a business.
Wow. And Dimple, what advice do you have?
I think it's very important to give back in some way, because we're taking so much from the earth and everybody should just find their own way to give it back in however, like whichever way possible. When we dive, we pick up like small plastics we see underwater. There's a fish caught, we help, rescuing the fish there. So anything, however you want to do it, or even in your homes, like, shut the water tap, shut the lights. Give it back.
Absolutely, and what you were talking about actually relates to a book which I recently read called Ikigai.
Yeah.
And it spoke about how most people are consumers. In a world full of consumers, a company like Volt, which is a producer, sustainability is one of their core principles, and I think that's absolutely fascinating. So let's wrap it up. It's time for a segment I like to call Truth Tide, where we wade through ocean myths and we separate fact from fiction. As scuba divers, we've all heard wild underwater stories, both underwater and onshore. So let's see which ones sink and which ones float. So my first question for you is, eco brands are only for people who can afford to be woke?
No, I think eco brands are for everyone. You just need to implement it in your life and you'll become woke.
The second one is, if your brand isn't 100% plastic free, it can't call itself sustainable.
I would say it's false. We're not plastic free as well, but we try using recycled plastic, we try using whatever we can to make it sustainable.
The third one is, natural ingredients always mean ocean safe ingredients.
False. There are a lot of natural ingredients that don't belong in the ocean. So we have to know which natural ingredients actually are safe for water bodies, for marine life. So no, not all natural ingredients are ocean safe.
Absolutely. And to our listeners, if there's a myth or assumption you want busted in a future episode, drop it down in the comments and we might just feature you next. Dimple and Rishabh, thank you so much for this raw, insightful, and energizing conversation. It's one thing to care about the ocean in theory, and another one to actually build a business that supports it. From your very first dive in Andaman to your new reef initiative with a dive school in India, it's clear that wood isn't about clean homes, it's about clean choices. And before we close, I would like to ask both of you our signature Blue Bloom question. If the ocean had a voice, what do you think you would ask of us?
And I think if the ocean wanted to say something to us, it would certainly be an SOS call.
So, to our listeners, thank you for tuning in. If this episode sparked something in you, an understanding of the ocean, an understanding of Volt, or just a need to take action, please share it with us. And this was your host, Tishya Kumar from Blue Bloom. And trust me, this is just the beginning.
I wouldn't be able to, describe my business and what we've done as eloquently as you have. So, thank you for kind of giving us a voice through your podcast.
Thank you, Rishabh and Dimple.
Thank you so much.